Well, a lot of people come here and sign 1 year, 2 year contracts with the Washington Commanders this offseason, and we feel that the team has gotten better. Sometimes you wonder why guys leave a certain place and come to a team. And one of those guys who I've always been a fan of and think highly of, Austin Eckler. I
Yes.
think he was very effective in San Diego, and then they moved to LA. And many people were wondering why. Well, Austin addressed that, saying that the Chargers are looking for a guy that can just get a ball to 300 times a year and carry it. Well, I would ask this question: does anybody really do that anymore? Besides Tennessee, now it'll be Baltimore.
Yeah, right.
Even Baltimore didn't give it to one guy 300 times.
No, and they didn't give it to anybody when they should have against Kansas City. You make a good point. It's a new
So
day.
he is here because his best years were under Lynn as a head coach. And also, he see a situation to where Brian Robinson doesn't mind battering.
Oh, I love him.
And a change of pace back, and it's not just a pass catcher. Change of pace means you run the ball effectively sometimes. But if you are effective out the backfield, it opens up a lot of space for you. And I think he, Brian, and also Chris Rodriguez, those three guys together can be absolutely something special. And yes, he had some injuries last year, but you know why? Because they started moving to a set where they wanted him to run. You know, right? And everybody ain't built for that 300, 345 carries a year.
No.
You don't have success off of that. So the ultimate thing is, can we find a way to get him into a situation where you can get the absolute best out of him? Because I can tell you straight up, the dude's a problem when he gets into the red zone.
Yeah. I think the coaching, not that they had bad coaching before. I thought their running backs were well coached, but it's all got to tie together. And
Yeah.
that they were not tied together. They had no balance. There was no, I don't know what the hell they were doing. I think it's all got established with our ground attack and movement. We can throw to our backs.
Yeah.
They're multi-dimensional. It's what you want in your backs. They'll block. They do it all. So we got a tough group. I like that room a lot, but they have to be given that opportunity. And as you well know, because you did it, you're personal protectors. Your safety valves. You are so intricate in keeping possessions for the offense.
See, that's why I wonder why they don't get paid more money.
Well,
Because
because y'all, I
running
mean,
backs, running backs have to do just about
I
everything.
know it,
But I'm looking at this, and I think
but you know why they're not paid more
Austin
money.
probably was thinking this too. Lynn helped me get some of my best years.
Mm-hmm.
He left and he went to where? San Francisco. Who just got 19 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the league. This man
Oh man,
understands.
he's perfect
So
for it.
I really believe that. And listen, the more I look at the construction of this coaching staff, you're like, okay, they went and got somebody that played it before in almost every aspect. Because I think it's a total of around 12 to 13 former players on this coaching staff.
Yeah, the Lions. Remember, we kind of made fun of their hard knocks,
Yeah.
and now who's laughing at who? You know, and
It's instant
yeah,
respect
yeah,
in one sense. I know the people that didn't play, and it's a lot of people in their corner, they talk all they can against the former player, but
yeah.
they just have a connect with players that you don't have, and it takes you a long time to get.
Well, they understand it when they go in for their medical treatments.
Mhm.
They don't want somebody that's never done it or never worked on a real body.
Yeah.
So it's just it's they understand it. They don't want to admit it, but people want experience when it comes to taking care of their bodies,
Mhm.
but yet they don't understand it when it comes to the sports they're betting on or they got their particular teams on it. One thing about, again, Coach Thompson, hear nothing, say nothing. I don't even think about them because I know what they don't know. How would they know? Why would I? I don't expect them to know. But you and I understand this, that a lot of these guys, their first coaching experience, when it's in the NFL, you're risking my future with your buddy. that you went to school with.
Who was
And I hate that.
our defensive back coach last year?
Yeah, we all know.
Before he got released,
Yeah,
it was a guy who had never coached
right,
outside of like little league or high school.
right. And he's not. And that group wasn't the first group
And
that.
he only met Jack Del Rio because one of his friends introduced him to Jack at a luncheon,
Happened to our group
and he
too.
hired him.
Our guy just happened to end up being good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to do the same damn thing, but I would hope that the person that hired me wouldn't allow me to do it. That's the point.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna turn down the cheddar.
That's what I'm saying. But when you have a blind man running your whole program overall, when you dead at the top, you dead all the way through. So that's what we was dealing with.
Yeah, it's just, but this running back room, I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I see possibility because what I like about Brian Robinson, I think Brian is a guy who can come out the backfield catching balls as well. What I do not like by some coaches, they want to pigeonhole you and tell you what you are instead of finding out what you are. I'll utilize this. I went to play golf one day at RTJ, and normally the caddies will go to the range with you because the smart caddies are learning what the hell you hit certain distances,
So they go
so they can give you better information on the course.
Right.
So I had a guy that happened to. We got out on the field on the course, and he told me I was like 190 something yards from the hole, sitting in the first cut, slight downhill. I said, "Well, give me 7-iron." And he said, "You can't hit a 7-iron that far." I said, "Well, if I hit a 7-iron on that green, I don't pay you a tip." Bet. I said, "Give me the 8." I put the 8-iron on the green, and his ass didn't get a tip. The whole method to that is, if you don't sit there and witness me doing something, you should never say I can't do it.
What did he base that on?
Because he probably couldn't hit a 7-iron that far. So he just automatically assumed. So my thing is, coaches that come in and look at you and say, this is what I want him to do, instead of watching you do your stuff, it's just like a caddy that doesn't watch a guy hit the damn club and then try to tell me. Like, when I first picked up golf, everybody said, "Oh, if you out 150, you should hit an 8-iron."
Right.
That's what I listened to. And every time I hit the 8-iron, I hit it past my mark. So I'm like, I don't think I hit an 8-iron 150. I hit something else 150. So I started going to the range and hitting.
But how do people judge your distance on looks?
They judge your distance based off of what they probably can hit or what they think other people hit.
Yeah, but that's
but that's what I mean by coaches that automatically tell you based off of your height, your size, your weight, what you're going to be before they ever see you do something.
I don't blame the assistant that hires his buddy. But if you have a football general manager or a owner that's a smart enough businessman to know what he don't know. No, when I don't what I don't know, I go get somebody that does. And I pay them handsomely.
Yeah.
But a lot of these people act like because I'm good at one thing, I'm good at everything.
You're not.
You're a fool. Yeah, you're a fool. You're gonna end up being broke.
We see that a lot. But I just want I want and I leave this thing, and I think anybody, if you go into coaching, don't assume see. Don't assume no.
No, that's right.
Because if you sit there and you watch a person for a certain period, I remember soon as he got the head coaching job, Richie Pettibone, he said, "You're gonna be running my ball for me." I'm like, "What do you mean, coach?" He said, "I watch you against us every day. So I want you running." He said, "These other people ain't gonna give you a chance." And he put me in the game, and I went for 100. And he was told by Jack, he wanted Reggie Brooks to play. So that's what happened with that. But
that's
he
my whole
watched
point.
me every day, so he knew what I was capable of.
But Bone is the most underrated coach in our era, to me.
Bone was a bad boy.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad boy. But you're right. Politically, a lot of folk didn't want that out that way. So he got, to me, his legacy has been covered up. But his greatness, for anybody that was on the field with him, understands he was always the straw that turned the drink.
Oh, yeah,
Richie Pettibone.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
A lot of the success of that team
Bad
was